Hello, my name is Mikayla and I'm with Townsville City Libraries. So today we'll be reading a chapter from one of the shortlisted books for the Book of the Year Older Readers. So this is awarded by the Children's Book Council of Australia. And so today I'll be reading a chapter from Ghostbird by Lisa Fuller. So this is a young adult book, and it is the age recommended for it is 13 to 18. It does have mature content because it is a young adult, so it doesn't. So that is something to keep in mind, parents, if you are letting your kids sort of read in the young adult section. So we also have some similar young adult books on my right here. So they are also shortlisted for the Book of the Year Older readers as well. So we'll start with this, start reading, I guess. Okay. So this is the first page. Fire is the center of our world. It's where everything happens. Cooking, playing, laughing, family, story. Fire means so much more than just a bunch of burning carbon. I sit and watch the embers escape, propelled by hot air swirling upwards. They dance into the sky as the smoke moves steadily in one direction. My twin sister sits right in front its way. What's wrong with you? I shake my head as she coughs. Ay, smoke follows beauty, little sister. Or, the wind, which is, in your case, makes sense. You want to talk? Are you sure we're related? We say together, laughing with the same eyes, the same smile, but a mirror image. A small freckle above my eyebrow on my right and her left is how people tell us apart. Mirror twins are rare. Opposite sides of a whole, Mum says, even in our personalities. Lacey is outgoing, sporting and popular. I am not. What are you two fighting about now? Nan comes shuffling out of the dark, a big jewfish in one hand and a massive ceratotus in the other. I hop up to go help, but she shoos me away, tossing them to the ground. I stare in fascination at the ceratotus. Salmon, the old people called it. As old as we are in this country, they reckon. White fellas said they were prehistoric dinosaurs or something. Made sense to us. Sometimes people call them lungfish, because that's what they had. Sitting by the river at night, you hear them surface to the gasp in the air. Nan already whacked these ones in the head, otherwise the salmon'd be gasping now. You want to just look at it or you want to eat it? Sorry, Nan. I smile at her as she comes over with her cleaning gear. An old knife, some newspaper, and alfoil. I stay close, watching each move she makes, while Lacey sits to the side, acting like a big dainty thing with her ew this and yuck that. Nan looks at me and we both roll our eyes. Anyone would think you weren't black. Call yourself my granddaughter, she mumbles in her rough smoker's voice. In my day, you'd figure out how to clean it or you'd starve. Cleaning it is gross, I agree. But I'll take this over going to the shops and getting that box frozen fish rubbish any day. I lean too close and Nan growls at me for getting in her light while she's working. She always smells like imperial leather soap, white ox tobacco and talcum powder. Mum said the only thing that changed since she was a kid is the brands. It sounds like it should smell bad, but it never does. It smells like home. Nan, when you gonna let me do that? When I'm sure you can do it the proper way. But how will you know of that if you never let me? She snorts. I'll know before you. Fish wrapped, she takes out a stick and digs out some coals. Placing her parcels in and covering them. Stretching her back out, she lets out a big groan, then settles onto one of the blankets we'd laid out by the fire. Nan always keeps her blankets in the car, those old hospital ones. Clean up them guts, granddaughters, and make your Nan a cuppa. I go for the guts while Lacey goes for the tea. We already had the billy on, so it was nearly ready for Nan. When I get back to the fire, Lacey has hopped onto one blanket, wrapping a second one tight around her. She lifts one side for me, and I climb in, cuddling close. We sit in the silence watching the flames. Nights like this remind me of your great-grandmother's old humping by the river, Nan says, smiling in her tea. She reaches into her massive bag that she dares calls a purse, pulling out her rollies and getting a pre-prepared one that she dips into the ambers till she makes a nice cherry on it. She takes one deep drag, puffing smoke into the flames and watching it curl upward. Fear, tinged excitement rattles my heart to life. I know what is coming next. Lacey and I cling to each other, clasping each other's hands tight as we wait. He used to tell me the best stories, my old dad. Knew a lot of things. Nan's gaze is lost in the fire and her memories. Couldn't teach us much, not language for sure. That old protector fellow wouldn't take us. But he told us what we needed to be safe. Sadness flows out of her then, mingling with dirt and ash and painting the earth and pain. Another big draw. More smoke. Never say their names at night, daughters, or you'll call them down to you. Don't whistle, don't draw in the dirt, don't sweep the ground neither. Not in the night, or they'll come. Those fellas here, look. She holds up her hands, palm facing out, and does that claw-clenching move that we all know and are all scared of, even adults. Drag, puff. If you're walking at night and you feel something behind you, don't look, don't run. Sing if you have to. Drag, puff. Stay out of them caves at night, and if you go into them in the day, don't ever take nothing from there. If you kick a stone loose, put it back. Drag, puff. Keep your feet covered at night, or you might find them tickling them things like children best, and they'll wake you if they can. Then they'll take you, and we'll never see yous again. They never give back what they took. We knew these things because Nan made sure we knew them. She still told us every time we were out by the river like this. It was our way. Have you ever seen one, Nan? Lacey asks. Well now, she says, turning to look at us. The firelight moves strangely on her crinkled skin, making her beloved face look spooky. Sure you want to hear them stories? You're not sleeping with me tonight. Her warnings are always the same, but she lets us sleep with her anyway. Yes, please, Nan, we say together. Good, she says, nodding in approval and looking back into the fire. Because you'll need these stories one day, granddaughters. She looks lost for a minute, while Lacey and I sit, waiting to have the shit scared out of us. From somewhere behind her, I see a flicker in the dark, like when a wallaby jumps between trees, moving fast. A brief flash of red dances and I frown at it, trying to see. Probably the light in the wallaby's eyes, but it looked too small for that. Turning to ask Lacey, I have a second to register the glint of gold and a strange pendant around her neck, before clawed, furry hands wrap around her throat. We both grasp as it pulls her backward out of the firelight. Lacey, I turn to Nan, expecting her to move, but she's still looking into the flames. Nan! We finally turn to look at me. She finally turns to look at me with shining red pupils. Stumbling, I feel hands grab hold of my shoulders. "Be ready, granddaughters," she whispers as I'm ripped back, screaming into the dark. And that is the first chapter of Ghostburg. So if you do want to read that, all you need to do is borrow it out with your membership, library membership. And you can also access any of similar books and titles on BorrowBox or in our collection. So I hope you enjoyed that, and can't wait to see you next time. Bye.